courts always say the same thing. They say that Bouvier's law dictionary is outdated. They say that the maxims of law are ancient texts. They say that common law principles no longer apply. Fine. Let us use the book that the courts do accept. Let us use the book that every judge, every prosecutor, and every bar member keeps on their desk. Black's Law Dictionary. Black's Law Dictionary states this clearly: once a fraud, always a fraud. Something that is void from the beginning cannot become valid by any lapse of time, nor by any subsequent act. Those are not my words. Those are the words in the very dictionary that the courts claim to rely upon. So here's the question the courts cannot answer. If something that is void in the beginning cannot become valid through time, then how did the courts justify replacing common law with corporate statutes? How did they justify replacing Bouvier with Black's, and then altering the definitions within Black's over multiple editions? How did they justify erasing maxims, redefining rights, redefining jurisdiction, and redefining the very foundation of law? Because according to their own dictionary, that which is void at its inception is void forever, and they admit that fraud vitiates everything, not some things. Everything. If the original switch from common law to corporate statutory law was done without the consent of the people, without a constitutional amendment, without lawful delegation of power, and without judicial authority, then that switch was void from the beginning. If the courts altered definitions to expand their power, that alteration was void from the beginning. If the Bar Association seized control of the legal system without constitutional authority, that seizure was void from the beginning. And Black's Law Dictionary states that nothing void can become valid by time, nor by any later action. Not by tradition, not by habit, not by acceptance, not by the courts pretending it is valid. The courts say they do not use Bouvier. The courts say they do not use the maxims. But the courts do use Black's Law, and Black's destroys their entire system with one sentence. Once a fraud, always a fraud. Once void, always void. If they want to dismiss Bouvier, they must now answer to Black's. If they reject the maxims, they must now answer to their own definitions. If they claim authority, they must now explain how the foundation of that authority was never valid in the first place. Their own book convicts them. Their own definitions expose them. Their own words destroy their illusion of legitimacy, and that is why they avoid the truth. Because Black's Law Dictionary proves beyond any argument that the people have been ruled by void acts, void authority, and void jurisdiction for generations. And no lapse of time will ever make a void act lawful.